Hello and welcome to this episode of CommuNInqué. As I mentioned earlier, this episode is going to be wrapping up the information we've received from Zipso, as well as covering some normal Nintendo news at the end. And so, just moving right in, let's start with the rest of the news we've gotten from Zipso. So, although there isn't too much more new information to cover, I feel that there is some things to be gleaned mechanics-wise, as well as some character information. This was information that once again came from the thread on Smashboards, the Ask Me Anything thread for Zipso, as well as the stream he did on Twitch where he was being asked questions and would do answers as well. And so, here's the new information I believe that we've gleaned. And so, starting off. During 3D, the 3DS maintains a high frame rate, and it's not too intrusive. About combos. Melee combos are not in. You cannot utterly turn your opponent into a sandbag for a long string of multiple hits. In order to get longer strings, you must be intelligent about your follow-ups and reads on your opponent's DI, and as long as you do these things, you will be successful in your combo strings. You can get maybe the first 3 hits of a combo, 3 completely separate used abilities in a string, on a player before you need to start reading their directional input, and gauging your follow-up choice. And then there was a question asked, is any character overpowered? His answer was no. I'll do you one more and tell you that every character feels so completely unique from the rest that it makes playing each character a completely different experience. You can't just abuse a certain set of similar fundamentals, aside from the obvious things like spacing and reading, on every character and it works by default. You need to learn the character's quirks. I think matchup learning is going to be major in Smash Bros. Wii U and 3DS, even for casual players if they want to nail a win. Beating Rosalina or Palutena is not going to be super simple if you don't have a good fundamental understanding of their spacing options, because of how crazy their playstyle is, and how different it is from anything we've seen before. The change in mechanics, i.e. the feel of the game, and playing with its new engine is more akin to the huge switch between 64 and Melee, and much less like Melee to Brawl. The engine is different. This needs to be emphasized. It creates a really fresh experience while playing the new game. Gliding, such as the thing that Charizard and Meta Knight and Pit were able to do in Brawl, is gone entirely from Smash Bros. Wii U and 3DS. Sweet spots appear easier to hit in general in Smash Bros. Wii U and 3DS. The hit stun in the game reminds him of Smash Bros. 64 hit stun. Melee style bonuses are back, like stale moves, star KO, etc., but he did not see any stickers. Something that he noticed about Smash 4 is they really want you controlling the character on their terms, as in they give you the tools, and you need to figure out how to use those tools to push your character to its maximum potential. You do not get the feeling that there could be any secret new canceling techniques to eliminate the balancing effect of these mechanics they have in place. They've had a lot of practice, and it really feels like they want this to be the tightest version yet. And then moving on to characters. First character, Bowser. Bowser appears unchanged from the E3 demo. Diddy Kong. I think Diddy, while a big nerf to his bananas, is benefiting from the Smash Bros. Wii U and 3DS mechanics overhaul. A lot of his moves have different hit stuns and chains. Shulk. I think between Mark and Ike is a good way to describe Shulk, speed-wise. Sonic. Sonic's side special ends with a kind of poke kick. His down smash is now similar to Fox's, and his up smash is a good KO move. Robin. Robin's switching between tomes and swords happens automatically without doing anything. I didn't notice the tome switching mechanic. The 11 sword switching was noticeable, but I don't think I once noticed the tome mechanics in detail. The B moves seem to be reliable, always outputting the same magic attack during a given match. Robin's alt hair colors that he remembers are green, blonde, pink, and red. The physical sword by itself is indeed weaker, but most notably the range is shorter. That's arguably the more heinous part. The Levin sword has a great range, but the physical one is kind of like a dinky dagger. I assume KO is still plausible on a high percentage character, but it's so much less practical under the Levin sword smashes. The thing about choosing your aerials is you can decide whether to waste a Levin sword charge or not. I think it's pretty in-depth if you think about it. Megaman. Megaman feels like a zoning character who comes in for the kill either occasionally when the opportunity arises with his forward air or offstage for a gimp with a meteor smash. Down smash is really strong for people who get in your grill. I think learning his meteor smash will be important due to the large blast zones. Sheik. Sheik has melee speed and combo ability. Tilts allow for plenty of juggling, very little landing lag on the vast majority of her moves. Rosalina. Rosalina appears unchanged from E3. Controlling Luma is easier than I thought it'd be, and good chains can come from the tilts of Luma and Rosalina herself. Greninja. Greninja's Shadow Sneak is excellent on the 3DS. It's hard to see, and the longer you hold the input, the farther the shadow goes. And when you let go, it pretty much warps Greninja to it and lets you attack. Pikachu. Pikachu's quick attack goes farther. Up tilt is good for starting combos due to hit stun. Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong's aerials have little landing lag. His back air has very little landing lag, if any landing lag at all, and his down air is a spike. Lucario. Lucario's down air doesn't cancel his momentum completely, but it does slow him down temporarily for the attack. King Dedede. The more reasonable explanation for his side B is that you can only have one Gordo out at a time, but when he spammed it he noticed that every other swing did not deploy a Gordo. Link. Link is faster than in Brawl. His forward smash is faster and low landing lags on his short hop, fast fall, back air, and neutral air. And also, the Fierce Deity Link skin does not change his sword or any of the equipment he uses. And then moving on to stages, there's just one thing. The Tomodachi Life stage reminds him of Luigi's Mansion that doesn't break down. And so that's all the information that I was able to gather from the things that Zipso has posted as well as the things that he said. And so that'll probably be the last that we'll be hearing from him before release. And so, moving on to the news of this week, the first does have to pertain to Super Smash Bros. 3DS. There's going to be a stream of the 3DS game taking place on NicoNico later this week. On September 12th at 7 p.m. Japan Standard Time, just before the Japanese release, it'll be streamed exclusively on that channel. And I will link the channel below so that when the 12th comes you can go and watch it. And then the next bit of news is a Pokemon related news. There's two events that are going to be happening in the near future. The first is for a shiny Gengar that comes holding the Gengarite Megastone at US GameStop stores. This is going to be from October 13th until October 26th. And then the next event that's going to be happening from October 27th until November 16th is that you can grab the legendary Pokemon Diancie. Diancie is going to be able to Mega Evolve, but the Mega Stone needs to come from Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, as it's not going to be an XY and it's not going to come attached to Diancie. And so, since the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire come out the 21st, it'll just be a matter of 5 days after the event ends, so you're going to have to transfer your Diancie from X and Y to Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. And so, the next bit of news that I'd like to cover is for the game Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. This game is coming to the Wii U and the 3DS, and according to their Twitter account, it has just finished its pre-check at Nintendo. And so this means that we're going to get it pretty soon, and it did have an original release date window kind of set for October of this year, and so we'll see if they manage to keep to that release. And so the last bit of info that I'd like to cover is that the Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate Collector's Edition was revealed for North America today. The product design for it isn't final, but it comes with the supply box holding everything in it. It's got the game, obviously, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate for the 3DS. It's got a cleaning cloth, which has the Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate logo on it, a Gore Magala figure, a lanyard, and a felon pin. And so this is pretty interesting. There hasn't been a price or a release window set for it yet, other than that it probably will be coming early next year. And so, I think that's about all the information I have for you guys today. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will be back tonight with another CommuNInqué mini focused on the Smash Brothers post of the day. So, until then, stay classy, YouTube.